I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it. We cannot conceptualize it with this human awareness. We have to be in another state where we can understand it, know it on our central nervous system. Whatever we have achieved in our evolutionary process, we can feel it on our central nervous system. In the same way, we have to feel the truth, the absolute, on our fingertips. It has to be tangible. It's not a make-believe, it's not a blind faith, but one has to experience it on the central nervous system. But the problem is that so far, those who achieved something also of this nature were singled out and they were never respected. A great poet, Kabir, says that how am I to explain anything? The people are so blind. Even William Blake was treated as a lunatic in this country. It was impossible for these seers, these prophets, to explain, to talk about the divine. But till they lived, nobody understood them and followed them. And then when there were no more, people built mosques, temples, churches. And when we see the mess of these religions, we are surprised. How can it be? How can people kill each other in the name of God? How can they make money the way they are making in the name of God? People are amazed who are a little bit aware that there's something wrong somewhere. And whatever was told was not followed properly. There is no connection. One starts feeling when they see the private lives of people who are in charge of those religions that there's something definitely wrong. So then they take to science. And science is amoral. It has no morality. It deals with matter. And matter is controlled by the divine. It cannot deliver the goods. As far as our spirituality is concerned, about knowing the absolute, so we are stuck at a point where we call ourselves human beings. We have the human awareness. But we don't have the absolute knowledge. That's why everybody is quarreling, fighting, wars. In some name or other, we are hating each other. If the divine has created all of us, why there is such a problem? In the nature there isn't. Look at these beautiful flowers here. On the tree they grow. All the leaves are spread properly, no problem. Nobody tries to aggress anyone or to kill anybody. Everybody, if you call them some bodies, then they all help each other to get the maximum sunlight. You go in a forest, there may be a tiger and all kinds of animals there, You don't have any bad smell anywhere. They know how to, the whole cycle of nature is worked out beautifully. But if you feel that there's some dirt, filth, and you smell it, then know there must be some human beings living there. Because men only have the power as human beings to spoil everything or to become the spirit. Because human beings are at the epitome of evolution. They have no idea as to how glorious they are, how great they are. I find in the West people are trying to find their identity. They color their hair or do all kinds of things. The identity lies within yourself. When you say, these are my eyes, this is my nose, this is my body, that means you are not this body, this mind. This is yours, but you are not the same. So you are not this body, this mind, these emotions, this ego, these conditionings, but you are the pure spirit. And that's what you have to become. Every religion has said that. Every religion. Muhammad Sahib has said it clearly that there have been so many walis before, and there are going to be so many walis also. You have to be a wali, he said it clearly. I met in Turkey Sufis. Of course in India we have very great Sufis. Nizamuddin Sahib was there, and also we had Chishti. In Chishti we had another one. Everywhere we had Sufis like that. And they believed in Saj Yoga. But they remain in different category. But in Turkey, thanks to Ataturk, I think, that these prospered very well. And they came to me and they just surrendered to Saj Yoga. They wanted their realization, they got their realization. When their guru came, he also got his realization, and he said, this is the Saj Yoga which is going to transform the whole world. They, of course, they are in a way Muslims because born in Muslim families, and that they sing the praise of Muhammad, of Ali, of Fatima, of everyone. But they don't consider that we are the only chosen ones. Such beautiful people they were. They got their realization what it is. What about Christ? He said, those who are not against me are with me. Who are those who are with him? He was hardly given 3 years to express himself. People were so blind at that time. It is, every religion has talked about the spirit and the spirituality. But it has become now spiritism. These all kinds of black magics and things, that has become the religion. Or it has become a power-oriented thing. All kinds of nonsense you hear and you are really so sad. It's like in Bosnia, so many Muslims are killed. For what? Because they are Muslims. In some places Christians are killed because they are Christians. It's going on everywhere. And now it's time for us to stop it. We have no problem now with Russia, and we'll never have a world war now, I hope so. But we have a problem of fundamentalism. And that comes from the ignorance that we are all part and parcel of one personality. And this ignorance has to go. And that can be done very easily once you become the spirit. Now, it's not a question of I'm telling you as a sermon or a lecture. But it's a happening, it's an actualization of that experience which is important. This experience is something which is extremely valuable today for the whole world, because this is the time of last judgment. And this is the time when people are going to get their self-realization. One has to understand it's a very important time now. We say from chimpanzee we have come to human level, supposing even if you accept that. But there were two other races which came as human beings, they disappeared. In the same way, there are people who are still seeking power, money, in the name of God. Can you imagine? Those who are seeking all such things should know that it is not reality. Now, when those people who see them, also they say, no, there's no God, abhor that name, they are also wrong, because very unscientific. Have you found out if there is God or not? By seeing a Hindu misbehaving or a Muslim misbehaving or a mullah misbehaving and a pandit misbehaving, you cannot blame God for that. You cannot deny God. If you are denying God, I would like to know in these modern times, what is the scientific proof that you are saying there is no God? Have you found out? Have you made any discoveries about it? That there is no God? So with a very open mind of a scientist, you have to understand that there is God, which is a hypothesis before, which you should not accept blindfolded. But if it is proved, then as honest people, you have to accept it. It's very important today that this world has to change through the emancipation and transformation of human beings. All the problems of the world today, if you see really, are from human beings. And all these human beings are having problems because of their centers are in trouble. If somehow or other we could cure these centers and connect our being to that all-pervading power of divine love, we enter into the kingdom of God, which is promised by every religion. Again I say, you see these beautiful flowers here, and we take them for granted. We never even think how they are here. On this earth, with a little seed, how does this Mother Earth gives these beautiful flowers? It's a miracle. It's a miracle like that, the photographs you are seeing. This is another miracle. But we take it for granted, all living processes. Everything we take it for granted. And we never try to judge whether it is a miracle or how it has come. We never even think about it. Who does this living work? Supposing we extend our imagination, who does this living work? This living work, I say, is done by the all-pervading divine power of love. This may be called as Ruh, could be called as Brahma Chaitanya, Parama Chaitanya. Patanjali has called it as Ritambara Pragya. You may call it by any name, but this power exists. Now, only thing is, you are to be connected to this power. Like this instrument is connected to the mains, otherwise it has no identity, it has no meaning. Only thing, you are to be connected to this all-pervading power. Once you are connected, you will be surprised at yourself how glorious you are, how great you are, what powers you have, and what you can achieve. You suffer from stress, and physical troubles, mental troubles, economic troubles, political troubles. All these troubles get solved. Say there's complete darkness here and there's commotion. You will, in any way, stampede onto other people. You will, because there's darkness, trying to run, not knowing which is your aim, where to go, what to do. That's what is world today. Is it to be pitied that people are not genuinely seeking the truth? If they are, it's their right to get their self-realization. That is what Sajavai is. So the truth is that you are the spirit, pure spirit. The second one is that there is this all-pervading power of divine love which does all the living work. It runs our heart. It gives us children. It gives us beautiful nature. Everything that is spontaneous, sahaja. Saha is born with you. The right to become united, yoga, with this all-pervading power. But it is so simple that people don't understand. They think, how can it be so simple? It has to be. Because it is so vital. It is so important. Supposing if your breathing was difficult and you had to read books for that, what would have happened? It is extremely vital. But somehow human beings always think that you shouldn't eat your food like this but go round and eat like that. It is a very, very simple thing. Sahaj also means very simple, spontaneous. So the Kundalini is there. She is residing within you. She is your mother. She knows everything about you, very anxious to give you your self-realization. It's like the primule in the seed, which has to sprout. Now what you have to do is to put this seed in the Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth has the built-in quality to sprout it, and the seed has a built-in quality to get sprouted. It is, you can't explain. In one seed, do you mean to say there are maps of all the trees it is going to produce? Go to the microscopic thing, and it is vast. Go to the universe, it's vast. The cosmos is vast. But a simple thing is that you are the epitome of all this creation. And you are the one who has the source of knowledge, of joy, and absolute truth. This is what you are. And it's your own, so why not have it? People sometimes told me that, Mother, if you say that you can get it free, then we can't believe it. I said, but why? Because supposing if it doesn't happen to us, we can go to the courts. I said, this human mind doesn't understand that it is something your own evolutionary process, and what have you paid for it? Nothing. Do you mean to say God understands money and bank? No. It's all man-made problems, complications. What is within you is a beautiful spirit which is reflected in your heart. And this, your mother, who is your Kundalini. It has nothing to do with paganism and all that. See, just to discard something as paganism. If Indians have to learn science from, why not learn the science of the roots from Indians? What's wrong? But people take to falsehood very easily, even in religion I have seen. You must first of all verify the people who are talking about God and religion, what is their personal character? Are they genuine? Secondly, what are their disciples like? Do they have any powers? Do they know anything? Unless and until you have verified these things, you should not take to false people. And falsehood is so rampant, is so evident. If you just use your logic, you'll find out falsehood. What's the use of using false things? If reality is within you, why not achieve it? This is such a beautiful thing that you are. You must accept yourself, must honor yourself, respect yourself. Another Western problem is a fashion to feel guilty, which I just don't understand. Why do you feel guilty? After all, you are human beings. You are not gods. If you make mistakes, what's the use of feeling guilty? If you have done mistake, just face it. Face it up and finish with it. That you will not do it again. But no use feeling guilty all the time and spoiling your center here on the left hand side, which can give you not only spondylitis but also angina and lethargic organs. The Sahaja Yoga today is on a scientific basis explained. We have doctors who have proved how Sahaja Yoga has cured cancers and things, and also we have scientists who have proved many things which are said in Sahaja Yoga. So it is tangible. It is not that something is said which has no basis. And that is what one has to do, is to have an open mind of a scientist, take to realization and see for yourself. If it is working out, then you prove all these saints were correct.